4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further. And they'll run with the former LSU Tiger. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 38.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Jackson from the shotgun.
That went into the hands of Flowers.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
The Ravens at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8.
Jackson.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. 3rd down here.
You look at this Steeler defense.
And they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Here's Jackson.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of first at the 32. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try to match his athleticism.
A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
Here's a give up the middle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Here's Jackson to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. A wild throw there, and it is intercepted. And the Steelers are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Looking to put a drive together. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
A short throw to Musgrave. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down. Yeah, look at this Baltimore defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Now if they can just get their pass defense in line, this unit will be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to it. Off the RPO, he completes it. He's brought down to the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. First and 10. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This is second and 8. They'll set up to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They'll drop the throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side. Because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Jackson now off the bootleg. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got this complete to Robinson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
A gain of 27 on the play. And the Steeler first down.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Back to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Johnson will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Here we go, here we go.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to extend their lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
their own 19-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor, maybe you play with the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Now the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd and 6.
Jackson now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
An empty backfield now as they face a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play, move on.
Two minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to have it here just past the 25. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Following the
penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Alpha, sit hard. 180. Sit hard. 180. Cut.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Sit hard. Hard. Sit hard. 180. Ready, shot. Hey, Ozzy. Sit up.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0, our score. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Tucker's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
49-yard line.
First down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 26. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Man open is Robinson. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Wan'Dale Robinson, 26 yards. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 17-3. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
35-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Jackson going to keep it. And they'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And they'll go empty backfield. 5 receivers in the formation on 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
To throw is Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Second and 10.
Hey, report. 180. 180. Nice shot. 13. Go right here. You.
From the gun, Jackson. Try! And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Middle.
Jackson will throw again. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Tucker with the extra point. And that slices the lead down to 17-10.
Ravens 10.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 35-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. But the defense quick to read this. They bust in and drop him before he could take the shot downfield.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
On play action, they'll throw.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
So the completion good for just 3. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They'll get this out wide to Metcalf.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
And in an afternoon where just about everything's gone right, there's an unlikely sight there. He's got a receiver all alone downfield, and he just overshoots him.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw again.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those.
Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Trey Palmer,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Ravens are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Hey, when you're thinking about your opening drive in the third quarter, you're thinking about exactly that, putting together a drive. But instead, what did we get?
Big pass downfield, touchdown. I thought, okay, just sitting back in my chair, let's get eased in, a couple runs. No, boom.
Yeah, forget the body blows, folks. Let's throw the big shot right now.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away.
The Steelers take over first and 10. Their own 35-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The interception on the last drive proved costly, led to the tying score, so 17 all as they come up on a first down. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 40. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now a 2nd and 6. In motion right is Robinson. And they'll run it here. To the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Here we go, set.
And Shaheed going to go in motion. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malachi Starks. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 15. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, But I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Right back to him on first down. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Quick, ready?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey! Yo.
Up the middle they go. Gates. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Get on! 180! Finish up! Finish it up! Hey, middle. Hey, Ozzy! Sit up!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Got a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
180! Get on! Go ahead. Get on!
Lamar going to give this to Ali. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. Well, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
2nd and 2 at the Steelers' 17-yard line.
Hey!
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, Alpha, sit hot!
Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Go. Touch.
This is Cruz. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Get on. 180. Come on. 180. Hey, shot. What you got? Touch.
He'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
The Steeler defense proving its mettle here. And now this is 3rd and goal.
Touch. Yo. Hey, middle. Listen.
He'll try again. Trying to find a lane, but he finds nothing but defenders. Stop for no gain at the 2-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And I don't think there should be much of a discussion here, but you know how I am. You kick the football, you take the lead. How bold do you want to be in this situation, though?
And no movement for the field goal unit to break this tie. They're going to go for this thing. 4th and goal. Here we go.
180. Hey. Sit up.
Here's Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Ravens go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Tucker with the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Steelers 17.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. It's complete to Robinson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The towels are waving. Steeler fans on their feet. It's 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, This intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Back to throw now on first down.
Short one there to find you.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. And the Ravens 41-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire.
Here comes second down and 5.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
He's back to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. That completes it again to Metcalf.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment.
13 yards. And the Steelers first down.
This is 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw.
That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins.
And he takes a pop at the end of that one. It'll be a gain of about 4. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
Here comes second down.
Let's go now. Cowboys, 79 Broncos.
He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Back to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now the Ravens going to use 1 of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And now they're going to go for two and a possible win as this crowd rises to make things difficult.
Point conversion.
They'll look to throw. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch.
Steelers 25, Ravens 24. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
How many hands I gotta take to level my aesthetics? Hurry up and get your muscle up. We up the plyometric. Ran up by the lux when that's up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet. People diabetic. They mouth get full of deceit. Let these cowards.
Here's 1st and 10. Jackson. And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Hey, no, we changed it. 180. Nice up. Middle.
Here's Jackson. Jackson going to keep it. He's got a man complete. And he will get out of bounds at the end of this. So they took a shot, they complete it, and stop the clock in the end. And that last throw, CD, going to move him even further up that all-time passing leaderboard as he just moved beyond Broadway Joe Namath at 27,663 yards.
And that's impressive because Joe Namath, my goodness, he could throw a football. I mean, it was just gorgeous the way he threw it. Rallied his Jets to a Super Bowl win, one of the greatest upsets in NFL history. Broadway Joe, the man.
180. Nice up.
Jackson to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like that there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
180. 180. 13. Hey, middle. Hey.
Now Jackson. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip. Try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here.
180. Nice shot. Yo.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Four seconds to go. This is likely it.
180. 180. Nice shot.
One last shot for Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Flowers. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 34-yard line.
That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles, and that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So for Pittsburgh, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.